So you want to be good at DayZ, huh? There's this one thing, though, that gets in your way, keeps you from being as good as you could possibly be. Well then, let's talk about it. The dreaded nighttime of DayZ. Here's what I think about it in-game, sitting there contemplating life. Nighttime in this game is stressful. Stressful's right. If you don't know how to present yourself properly towards dealing with the night, you're gonna end up getting attacked by a pack of zombies, ripped limb from limb, possibly shot in the head by another player. Here I'll walk you through all the different methods I believe you can hold your own against your foes. First off, you do start with a flare, but I hate these so much. I always drop my flares. Why, you might ask? Well, let's talk about it a bit. They do produce quite a bit of light, and I will say there are some very good things about them. You can't put them in your hoodie, you can't put them in a backpack if they're lit, but you can carry them around unlit and put them down on the ground. They do also act as something like a poor man's compass, always pointing in the northern direction whenever you put them down. They do give off quite a bit of light, but I wouldn't carry this around because it does act as a great beacon for any other players out there. It doesn't provide very good light. Here you can see, even though I get very far away, it's quite easy to see that in the dark. One of their better uses is to hold on to it as a signal. Red flare to your right. Here I drop it and my buddy's able to find me quickly.
Oh yeah, wow.
It's not always ideal, but it does help you group up with your friends, and might be worth carrying one just to burn. Ah, the glow stick. Memories of Halloween. One of the better radial options, can still be seen from far away, but it doesn't give off as much of a light source, can be placed down as well as stored in your backpack while lit. Now, just like the flare, you can't turn the glow stick off, but you can pocket it. They do provide great opportunities to hold up, and you can't really see these radial light sources or any of the other lights really through doors. Gives you an opportunity to stock up, load up, and hold the door down pretty effectively if you want to hold out for the night instead of moving around. The glow stick versus the flare have different throw distances. The glow stick doesn't have as much, but it is still very useful for looting, especially being able to pocket that in the middle of the night and not give off a great glow. Plus, there's colors. Who doesn't like colors? Coming up next here, we have classic light source, the flashlight. This guy is one of 3 conical, not radial, lights. Does not allow you to do things like that, but while you're holding it in your hand, it is one of the best light sources that you could have in the game, first off. Second off, you'll be able to loot, move freely, and still see where you're going. When you're running with it, it doesn't jiggle and still illuminates your path in front of you. You're going to be able to poke your head into buildings and see what's in there rather than have to go scraping around. It will also help you find smaller things on the ground like this, where you can zoom in and actually get a picture of it rather than go floundering around in your proximity menu. Better option, however, would be the head-mounted torch, which we're into now. You're able to hold a gun in your hands, clear rooms, but still have something mounted to your head. This guarantees that you're always going to have a light source with you, whether you like it or not. You can't turn off and turn on the headlamp while you're wearing it. You have to take it to your hands first, turn it on then. That way you can use a weapon to deal with someone. It's a little impractical when it comes to melee fighting, because the source is actually about a foot in front of the player's head, meaning things directly in front of you aren't immediately illuminated. But the ability to check your corners while having a light source at night is vital to your survival, as well as your ability to fight off zombies and other players. Comparing the 2 flashlights we've talked about so far, we're going to see that there's actually a much better range on the handheld flashlight, and then when you switch over to the head-mounted flashlight, you're going to have 2 things happen. You're going to be able to hold it in your hand like a normal flashlight, but it doesn't have as much range, and your immediate surroundings aren't illuminated because of that set-off. Now, if you do manage to find one of these guys, these are my favorites. Weapon-mounted flashlight. There's a pistol variant, as well as the universal variant, which is going to go on your M4s and your SGs, as long as there is a rail mount available on that gun. Now, these do help with building clearing quite a bit, about to the same degree as the head-mounted flashlight, but you can see here as I clear this building, or peek out of this door, they don't have as wide of a throw as the head-mounted flashlight, so pick your poison here. I do prefer this one though because of a couple of abilities it has. First off, you're able to turn it off by holding the gun. You just click when you're not aiming down sights and it turns off and turns on the flashlight for you. Much better than having to fuss around with that head torch. A major downside is running. The gun wiggles around and you don't have the light source directly in front of you as you move. It doesn't matter as much if you're not looting and just trying to survive, but having the ability to toggle on and off with the flashlight, as well as aim down sights and have a good illuminated sight picture, is a lifesaver. Well, survivors, at this point we've covered 5 light sources: the flare, the glow stick, handheld torch, head-mounted torch, and flashlight for your weapon. All these options are great, and you can actually pair them up here. I'm just messing around. I've got the head torch and the handheld. The only real benefit to pairing up and having multiple light sources is what you will see here. Your ability to hold a weapon, hold the head, and actually get 2 different spots of illumination as you look around with Alt. That being said, survivors, hope to catch you around, and I hope you enjoyed.